everyone. Welcome to Eat Well, Be Happy. I'm Deborah.
And I'm Jeff.
And we are in the kitchen about to make trouble again. I don't know what it's like where you are, but in our area, it's just beautiful, beautiful picnic weather. So we're going to make 3 picnic dishes.
We'll take our trouble outside.
We'll take our trouble outside. We're going to make an eggplant caviar. We're going to make a dandelion salad with tempeh. Tempeh, you say? What's that? You'll find out. And we're going to make a peach cobbler, the simplest one known to man or women.
And peaches, you know what they are, I think.
Yeah, you know what they are. All right, so we're going to start. We're going to start with the eggplant caviar first. And we are going to saute some vegetables that are going to go with our eggplant. Jeff is going to start by chopping those carrots or dicing the carrots. And if you look at these, you can see these homely little things. Look how ugly they are. Maybe I'm sorry, I shouldn't.
That's a little.
Didn't
that's
mean
a
to
little
hurt their
harsh.
feelings.
They're very colorful.
They're very colorful.
You know?
But you notice they've been scrubbed and not peeled. Again, we're using our naked carrots. That's how we're referring to our unpeeled carrots. And we're using carrots of different color just because you want to eat colors. You want to eat colors as much as you want to eat flavors. We eat first with our eyes. And the brighter color that you're getting, the more antioxidants you're getting. And antioxidants, don't forget, are those things that prevent your cells from breaking down prematurely. All right, so Jeff, we're going to add probably about a couple of tablespoons of olive oil.
I would think. About yay much.
That looked like more than a couple of tablespoons to me, didn't it to you? But,
you can check the instant replay.
and I have cooked, I usually want to do about 2 eggplants for this recipe. I used 3 because these were small. I just pierced the eggplants all over with a little knife, and then I put them in a 450-degree oven yesterday until they were soft, and that was probably about 30-35 minutes. But you can certainly see when they become wrinkly, and you can poke them and they're nice and soft. And I am just going to take the center of this out. Why do we love them so much?
No, actually the Italian word for eggplant, I believe, means crazy apple.
Eat this dish and you too will be crazy. One of the things that I like about eggplants is that they have been determined to be very rich in something called chlorogenic acid. And chlorogenic acid is a wonderful antioxidant that actually, they say, helps prevent cell mutation. And so it's very protective. There's so many things you can do with eggplant puree or eggplant pulp. I've had ones also mixed with hard-boiled eggs and a lot of garlic and parsley and chopped tomatoes. We're putting the carrots in first, and then we're putting in peppers. So you want 2 kind of total peppers. You could use green, you could use red, you could use yellow, you could use orange. We're using orange and red and yellow today. I want to mention, not only is this dish easy to make, but we're using everything organic, and we want you to as well, because we want you to, as the name of the show says, eat well and be happy. We don't want you having extra pesticides or herbicides in your diet. You don't need it. Pesticides and herbicides don't do anything to make us healthier, do they? All right, get
No,
ready.
they don't.
Good. Next goes the zucchini. And I know I've said this to you before, but zucchinis are actually classified as a fruit and not a vegetable.
Do you know eggplant's actually classified as a berry?
No.
Well, you do now.
Well,
It's
who
one
the
of
heck
those-
did that?
I don't know. Clearly someone who's never tried eggplant on ice cream, because it just doesn't work. So.
Very funny, Jeff.
That's what I always say to people who try to tell me that tomatoes are a fruit.
All right, so we've got our carrots sizzling away there. Our peppers are in there. Jeff is going to put the zucchini diced finely. Can you see how just kind of nice and fine the dice is here? And that's because you want it to, it's going to be in with the eggplant
That's
pulp.
because I'm a fine dicer.
A fine dicer. All right, zucchini. One of my favorites. I know they say that zucchini aren't as high in nutrients as other vegetables, but they have more than their fair share. So if you enjoy zucchini as much as I do, eat them. And again, you notice we've left the skin on,
As we will with the apple.
as we will with the apple. So the Russians like apples and their caviars. And while Jeff is doing that, I'm going to dice a red onion, which we are going to put in raw. So we're going to do half of a big red onion or a small red onion. All right, so we've got our red onion not chopped as nicely as Jeff chops his vegetables. Ooh, that's looking good.
It is looking good. I would eat that just like that, actually.
All right, do we want to let that cook for a little bit
I
longer?
think so.
And should we add the peas now, or?
I think wait till the end.
Okay, so we're going to wait to the end for the peas. We'll wait to the end to put the eggplant in. I think we should get cracking on that cobbler.
Let's do that, as long as I have a knife in my hand and some peaches in front of me.
Okay, this cobbler, so simple. I've made it in a pie plate, which I really like, but today, because we know you're here for lunch, and we know we need a little bit more than a pie plate's worth, we decided to use a slightly larger container. I'm just going to grease it just a little bit. Whether I really need to, I'm not sure, but there's no fat in this recipe. Okay, so this cobbler, we make what bubbles up and becomes the topping, but we put on the bottom of the pan. So we're using 1 cup of coconut sugar. And I know you've all seen coconut sugar before, but it's just this wonderful brown stuff that comes out of the coconut palm flour, and then they take the moisture out of it, and has a very low glycemic index, so someone who's a diabetic can have it without killing themselves. But what I really love about it, I absolutely love the flavor. Don't you, Jeff?
Oh, absolutely. It's got kind of like a caramely, sort of a lot richer flavor than the other kind of refined sugars that people seem to love to use.
I was just looking how you're cutting the peaches.
Well, it's an interesting thing about a peach. The pit inside is actually oriented the same way as the peach cleft. In other words, the pointy ends of the pit go along the cleft. So if you take a peach, put a knife and roll it the opposite way, and it's at the right level of ripeness, it should pull right out like that, and makes it a lot easier to take the pit out.
And do you know how I do this?
I think I have an idea, but why don't you tell us?
I don't know how to do that at all. So we want about 6 to 8 cups of peaches. And Jeff is doing it the scientific way. I do it the home cook hacking way. So I just take my peach and I just cut out little wedges like that all around the pit. And the nice thing about this one is that the pit is cracked inside, so you have to be careful. So I do it this way, and there's no wrong or right way.
I think if the peaches are very ripe, then that is a good way to do it, because sometimes they're just too soft. They actually have to be a little bit more on the greener side for this one I'm not sure about. Yeah, that's going to be messy.
And I will say that, notice, we're not taking the peel off the peaches. We're not even bothering to peel them.
Because they're just so fuzzy.
All right, so back to the topping, or the bottoming, whatever it's called. So we have 1 cup of coconut sugar, and I am putting in there 1 cup of einkorn flour. And einkorn, it's kind of...
I think we can probably let that go, and it'll be just fine on its own.
You think so?
I think so.
Really?
Well, if we shut it off, I think we're pretty much there with it. Yeah.
All right, we'll turn that off. We'll just leave that off for now. So einkorn is what they say the original wheat. It's wheat. It's never been hybridized at all. Einkorn, again, is not hybridized, but it is wheat. So if you're celiac, einkorn is not for you. But if you just have a wheat intolerance, I would say try some einkorn. It might be okay for you. It's okay for lots of people. All right, so in here we have in a cup of coconut sugar, a cup of einkorn, and a cup of milk. You can use any kind of milk you like. I just am happening to use a whole cow's milk, but you could make this non-dairy Absolutely. So we've got our cup of milk. And because anytime I use anything with stone fruit, I think almond brings out, a little bit of almond extract brings out the flavors. So I'm going to be putting in about a half a teaspoon of an almond extract. And you could use cinnamon, you could use nutmeg, you could use cloves, but instead I decided to use this wonderful, this is a star anise masala chai. And it has things in there like cinnamon and like, what are some of the other ingredients? My eyes aren't getting any younger. Oh, yours neither.
Let's see
There
how
they
we're
are.
doing. Okay.
Okay, so it is dried black tea powder, ginger, cardamom, cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, and anise. So I thought, what fun. So of this, I'm going to use their little bamboo scoops worth, but it's probably about a half or a quarter of a teaspoon. And then I'm going to use about a teaspoon of baking powder, and make sure that yours, of course, is aluminum free. Again, the last thing we need in our bodies is some extra aluminum. All right, let me check. So we've got in there, oh, and I need about a quarter of a teaspoon of salt. Make sure you're using a good salt. So make sure you're using a salt that is a Himalayan or a real salt or Celtic sea salt, or just, you want those extra minerals that are in salt. So we're just going to whisk that together, and I can smell the almond extract. And we're just going to pour the batter into the pan. We've got our oven heated to 350 in case I didn't say that. And once this goes in, it stays in the oven probably about 35, 40, 45 minutes. Depends on your oven and your, time of the year. So you can see this doesn't look as if it's going to rise and become the crust, but it is. And then all we do is put about 6 cups of peaches on top. And if you're like Jeff, you would put them in a pattern and make it look really beautiful.
Sounds like the type of thing I would do.
If you're like Deborah, you just put them in.
Either way, it comes out beautiful, right?
Yeah. Now, very definitely make sure your peaches are organic. And how much easier it is not to have to peel them too. And I always think if we don't peel things, we're also not wasting. So we're getting extra, not only are we getting extra nutrition, but we're putting less stuff into our, our trash.
Beautiful.
I was going to eat one. Want to put that in the oven?
I would love to.
Let's go back to the eggplant. Okay. Excuse me. You want to add the peas?
Let's do that.
And I will add some garlic. So this is about a cup of peas. You could add, and you could leave them out if you don't like peas, or you could add sugar snaps, or you could add parsley. Where's my little knife? I've already lost things.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm hiding things on you. You haven't lost anything. I'm working against you over here.
He always does. And about 2 cloves of garlic. Okay, and to that I'm going to add the red onion. I know, we have here probably about a fulsome cup of red onion. Peppers have more vitamin C, they say, than oranges.
Oranges, yes.
I think we want to add a little bit more oil, Jeff.
Okay.
Let's do that.
We can do that. We're cooks. We can do what we want.
Well, I hope I'm not going to be sorry that I didn't really chop up the eggplant more. Wow, that looks good.
It does look good. Oh my goodness. Thank goodness you were here. Don't go hiding the agave next to the olive oil on me again, Deborah. Why would you do such a thing?
It's like the people who put sugar instead of salt into a dish, or put a cup of salt instead of sugar. We almost had one of those. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, you're just trying
I've
to...
done worse.
All right, let's see, Jeff. Let's make sure. Let's see what else we've got in there. So we have our about a pound and a half of eggplant in there. We have our 2 diced carrots. We cheated. We used 3. We have about two diced peppers in there. We've got a zucchini. We've got an apple. We just squeezed in about 4 cloves of garlic. We need 2 tablespoons of a red wine vinegar.
Okay.
And that's going to give it some nice acidity and kind of bring a lot of flavors together. And we use probably about a total of 4 tablespoons of olive oil, a little salt and pepper to taste, and we are done with this one. So if I were serving this one, which we will serve to you, I'm going to put it about a half a teaspoon of salt and about a half a teaspoon of black pepper. Black pepper, again, stabilizes, is full of chromium, which helps stabilize blood sugar. So it's a good thing to add to your food. If you're not a pepper lover, you might learn to be. Let's taste that and see before we dish it out.
It just looks wonderful.
It does look wonderful, doesn't it?
There aren't too many colors that aren't in that pan right now.
And I can also smell the red wine vinegar in there too. I think a little more salt.
I agree.
So I'm adding another half a teaspoon of salt. And I think that'll do it. You want to taste it again?
Why not? I'll taste it as many times as you want me to, Deborah, until the pan is gone.
I think that salt is going to just bring it together, though. Did that do it?
That is good.
Okay. All right. Pot holders, that 2 red pot holders there. And if I tip the pan, will you scoop it out?
I will.
You could serve it with pita, little triangles. We could serve some on an endive leaf, and I'm going to put a little bit in an endive leaf just to show you how pretty it looks.
Okay.
Oh no, that's not. Waste
I
not,
had to get
want
away
not.
with it. Just gotta leave a little bit for the pot washer.
If I hand that to you, will you do that?
Okay.
All right. Endive. And you could serve it in a radicchio leaf. You could serve it in, I don't know, you could do whatever you like. But I thought I would just take an endive leaf and just put a little bit in, just to show you that if you were serving this cold the next day or at a fancy dinner, forgive my fingers, wouldn't that look pretty if you had some things like that? I don't know, I'm just gonna put that there for now and we'll fill that in. Should I do one more for you? One more.
Just one.
So untouched by human hands. All right, we'll leave that there for now.
All right.
What do you think? Should we put that down there and
I
call
think we
that
should
done?
call that done and move along with our picnic.
So years ago in our store, Amanda brought us this recipe. Hello, Amanda, wherever you are. And thank you, sir. So I thought we would do it. So it's a dandelion salad. And I have foraged part of these dandelions from my garden. If you don't spray your lawn and the dandelions are in yours everywhere like they are in mine, well, just think how lucky you are. So this one is going to be dandelions with avocados and fake and bacon, which is a tempeh product.
Mm-hmm. A good one at that.
Okay, so this dandelions are always very sandy. And I think I washed these. So dandelions you probably want to soak in a bowl of water and you want to take them out and spin them dry. But invariably you'll get a little bit of grit or a little bit of sand. And then we just have to pretend we're parakeets who need sand in order, something in their craw in order to eat food. We're going to chop this. And dandelions, particularly in the springtime. Oh my gosh, are they good for us. Dandelions not only help the liver do its job better, but they're just a general wonderful detox vegetable. Wait till you see what goes in this salad. It's just really yummy. All right, Jeff and I are going to throw this one together fast.
And dandelion greens generally tend to be more than a little bitter. So this is a recipe that takes care of that issue and lets you get all the health benefits of dandelion green.
So we have one bunch of dandelion greens cut into about 2-inch pieces. That looks good. And they're also extremely sort of tough and chewy. And I never thought I could eat dandelion greens raw like this. I've juiced them, I've sauteed them. But they actually work in the salad because of all the other things in there too. So we have about a half of an English cuke. And I just cut it lengthwise. And I'm going to make little dices with it. Again, no peeling, please. No peeling. That's one reason I love English cucumbers, because in the wintertime when all other cucumbers seem to be waxed, these never are. And they're also, the skin is thinner. Some people call them burpless cucumbers because they don't seem to make people burp like others. All right, so we've got our half of an English cucumber. We're going to do, oh, that's not a very good avocado. Let's see if the others are better. We only need 2 avocados.
I'll keep going until I get a good
no.
one. That's not it.
That's not it. Oh my goodness. Have to use that in smoothies. Let me see if I've got some more. Can always use a brown avocado. You know, if it's not good inside, you can use it in a smoothie or do something with it so you don't have to throw it away. But in a salad, you really want them pretty. All right, and a jalapeno. So if you like things hot and spicy, then don't take the seeds out because that's where the heat is. Otherwise, take it out. And if you don't know your crowd or who's coming to dinner, then advisedly take them out.
And in case you've never chopped one of these, it's kind of like slicing a peach. You just go right around and pull the pit right out.
Oh, I don't
Hopefully
like
it looks better than that when you do it, but
oh, that's the thing with avocados. Until you open them up, you
never
don't know what you're
know.
getting.
kind of
That's
like
a shame.
pineapple, aren't they?
Pineapples, I think, are easier, Jeff, because you can twist the stem end, and you know, and you can look. I mean, you can tell, I think, a pineapple. All right. So we want 2 avocados in there diced, and 1 jalapeno pepper minced. We're going to be adding. By the way, the jalapeno is from my home garden, and the dill and the mint is from the garden as well.
Oh, you got stuff coming in already, huh?
Yeah, I do, actually, and the dandelions.
Oh, great.
I have foraged those, as I mentioned, from my yard, too. What I don't understand is why the bunnies and why the critters go after everything except dandelions. They leave the dandelions alone. Maybe,
Just to spite us.
well, I was going to say maybe when we eat it, we'll agree with them, and we would, you know, maybe, well, depends on who you are. You might think, for crying out loud, why are they doing dandelion? I agree with the rabbits.
Well, rabbits don't have access to tempeh, so that's...
So dandelion greens, especially in the early summer and spring and fall, will really do wonders for getting your body ready for what's coming ahead. And we're going to be putting in there about 1/4 cup of mint leaves. Hopefully I'm not bringing any garden bugs in with that. And I always say, if you want to change the profile of a recipe, if you want to get different flavors, just play around with different herbs. This mint has been going in my garden now for about 6 years, and there are people who tell me that it's been corrupted over those years and that it's not very good mint, but you'll have to have it today. Dill. So we want about 1 cup of dill. And dill is, again, not only very aromatic and very wonderful in all kinds of salads and things, but it's one of those things that helps prevent gas. Tempeh.
Tempeh. What do we want to know about tempeh?
So tempeh is a fermented cultured product. And anytime something is fermented, it's easier for our systems to handle. It also is good for that whole, what they're calling the biome, the gut area. This one is called fake and bacon because it's been smoked and it does taste a little bit like bacon. So I just took this in a skillet, a little olive oil, sauteed it for about 4 or 5 minutes each side. A little crispy is good. Can I do this so you can see? I did this kind of a little overdone, a little crispy, but you want that in this salad. Okay, let's get that.
In my mouth.
Let's get the dressing done
Get the
there.
dressing on there, get the tempeh on. And
All right, so we're going to be putting juice from 1 lime and a little dollop of honey or agave. Jeff, you said you want to use agave today.
I've been wanting to use it all morning, and now's my chance.
Okay, and about 1/4 cup of creme fraiche. And most people would make the dressing a little bowl and then add it on, but I'm just going to throw it all in the one bowl, simpler, and here it goes. Okay, so there's our creme fraiche.
Juice of
A lime.
a lime.
Okay, and you want to put the agave in there and a little bit of olive oil.
How much agave are we looking for?
Oh, about 2 tablespoons, I think. And for this olive oil, I'm going to use an early harvest olive oil, which is a nice finishing oil. Has a little more bitter of a flavor, but excellent. All right, and now I'm just going to mix it all with my hands, and then Jeff is going to throw in.
I'm just going to watch.
And okay, you watch. See, I'm massaging it this way. And so who needs to make another bowl dirty?
Yeah, I think we have enough already, don't we?
Yeah. Jeff,
Yes,
how would you like to bring over the swap out of the cobbler?
I would love to do that.
Do we need some salt and pepper on the salad, I think?
I think we do.
All right, let's add, if you wouldn't mind, add that. Would you mind pressing in some garlic too?
I would not mind that at all.
Okay. All right, okay, I'm putting in the obligato with all those good fats. And Jeff will press the garlic in. So about 2 to 4 cloves of garlic, however many you like.
Put a couple in there and see how it works.
Okay, I'm going to add a little more salt. A little more salt and a little more lime. And Jeff, if you will bring me that little towel or washcloth, and we'll just clean this bowl.
Okay.
And the tempeh now we're going to put on top. And I'm actually just going to dish some out here on this plate
Why not?
and top it. So Jeff and I have just, oh, good heavens.
The best part.
All right, Jeff and I have just made a terrific mess in the kitchen. We've had a lot of fun. We've made a dandelion salad foraged from your garden and get dandelion. We've made an eggplant caviar, and we've made a peach cobbler.
Which would be wonderful served with whipped cream or ice cream, or just on its own
Here.
if you're...
We were going to make whipped cream. We'll let you imagine the whipped
If you're
cream.
going on a picnic, you really don't want whipped cream now, do you? That's fine just like it is.
Jeff and I want you to try these dishes at home. We've loved having you. We're going to sit down and eat now together. And remember, we want you to eat well and be happy.